Alright, I'm going to attempt a box opening. Even though I haven't finished setting everything up. I had this old setup over there, and I'm trying out this new one, but I haven't set up microphones and, good cameras and stuff like that. I just got what I got. I got a cell phone, got a camcorder, and I've got this, which is something I got on Haslab about 2 years ago. It finally shipped. And when I ordered it, I'm like, damn it, I guess I'm going to have to make a diorama at some point. Not really the display kind of guy of having lots of different things, but I mean, you'll notice in my videos that there's lots of stuff displayed on the back shelves and stuff like that. That's, it's kind of a cool YouTube thing. It was never really my thing, but I think having a diorama would be kind of a cool YouTube background. So that is not the reason I bought that, but it is a perk to it. The reason I bought it is because, as far as I know, it was the first, I guess, 6-inch vehicle, although technically other 6-inch vehicles have come out since, and maybe there were 6-inch vehicles earlier, although I seem to think there's, so like from 3 3/4, maybe even 5-inch figures, maybe there's some vehicles, like obviously He-Man and stuff like that. He-Man was like over 4 inches, wasn't it? And then 7-inch figures, I think, had some vehicles. I just don't know about 6-inch figures because I only just started buying them when G.I. Joe Classified started. And then I liked them, so I decided to get some Star Wars, some other 6-inch figures. So during, I guess, 2020, 2021, bit of 2022, I bought quite a few action figures, mostly G.I. Joe Classified. And so I'd already bought the earlier parts of the line of Classified by the time this Haslab came out, and I thought, yeah, I kind of want this because I never had a Hiss tank when I was a kid, when they were 3 3/4 from the original 80s G.I. Joe line. But I want a Hiss tank now, and I wanted to go with the 6-inch figures, and that Haslab was really cool. It's got like the little LED display, and it puts a little Cobra logo down on the table or whatever surface they're on. And then it had some, I guess, stretch goals with some extra figures, a Cobra Commander. That was kind of cool. But mostly for me, it was the Hiss tank, and I just wanted to splurge on one very big vehicle. And since then, I've got some Trouble Bubbles, and there's Duke with the Tiger Force motorcycle. And then I bought the Baroness on her motorcycle, so there'd be some other vehicles in the diorama. I need to get some acrylic box to put them in, and some LEDs, and and figure out how to pose action figures. That would be something completely new to me. I'm guessing there's like tricks of the trade and stuff like that. So if you know of anything, and if you know of a good idea to do with this diorama, like I said, I've got obviously Duke, Scarlet, Snake Eyes, Roadblock, and then even as far new as like Shipwreck and stuff like that. Basically, I bought my favorite Joes and kind of skipped some of the other ones I wasn't terribly interested in. But obviously, I've got Baroness, Destro. Didn't get Major Blood. Probably should pick up Major Blood somewhere. I have Zartan, but I'm not going to include the Dreadnoughts because, right now it's just him and his sister Zorana. And Xander is coming soon, but so far, wait, did they put out the other, or are they just coming, the other Dreadnoughts? Anyway, the point is, when they bring up the Thunder Machine, that's when I'll make a diorama for the Dreadnoughts, or Dreadnoks. I've always pronounced it Dreadnoughts because I didn't pay attention to the actual spelling of it, because the cartoon, I don't think they really ever spelled it out. It just sounded like Dreadnoughts to me. So I've never unboxed a toy before. I've unboxed some HeroClix. I've unboxed Magic the Gathering. I've, my other channel, Brackenberry's PvP. I do a lot of unboxings there lately because I run a game store, and it's good to do some unboxings because it gives me singles to either give away to customers. Like you know, the bulk that you end up with, and even, you know, even cards that are like, you know, $1 to $3. I usually throw them in a little freebie box for my locals. But anyway, didn't do a toy unboxing yet, but I did do G.I. Joe cards unboxing on that channel in salutation to Logan Paul and his unfortunate circumstance with Pokemon. But I think my main channel is probably the more appropriate place to do a toy unboxing, because my store isn't really a toy store. I mean, at some point I might carry some action figures, but that'll just be as in like a little extra, just kind of the action figures that I think are cool, not like an actual like Toys R Us type thing. But this is a personal thing, not a thing I'm planning to sell. Obviously, you don't buy a Haslab if you're planning to sell it at retail yourself. So, you know, we'll see how this goes. And I like how the box has like, oh, it's got to be one way up. I'm like, I don't think this is. I mean, it didn't look as precious as the box markings make it out to be. It kind of just more alerts someone to the fact that maybe there's something important in here. Although I live out in a very remote area, so not really that concerned about porch pirates. But for those of you who live in cities where that's endemic, you probably didn't want this box kind of alerting people to the fact that it might be something they'd want to get. There's these plastic corners protecting the whole thing. They made it kind of awkward to take it out of the box, but I mean, I guess Hasbro's thinking of you and your collectability on their Haslabs. I'd like to back the helicopter too. I wanted to back the Sky Striker. I could have backed the Sky Striker, but then I thought, God, that takes up a lot of space. And I mean, I had it like a Sky Striker that I got at probably like a secondhand store, so like it was missing most of the parts and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just didn't think that I'd have room for the Sky Striker, although I guess I kind of do now. I mean, I got a lot of collect shelves, so I'm sure I could have fit it somewhere. But I don't really regret not having the Sky Striker. And as for the helicopter and Wild Bill, I mean, I like Wild Bill and I like the helicopter. I'm not sure it'll fit into the diorama. Maybe I can fit it in. That'd be nice, because otherwise it's just going to sit in a box. And this is a really nice box. Like, could you imagine if this was at retail and you saw this on the shelf, and either you're an adult and you can afford it, or you're a kid and you're going to beg your parents forever, and most kids are going to be unsuccessful at that? That's really cool. Semper Fidelis. I don't remember them using lots of Latin in Cobra, but whatever. I mean, maybe they spent some time with the Transformers and they're, all Romaned up. So take a look at the different faces on the box. It's got some great art on it. It really evokes what it is. I don't know the meaning of the 788 on the Hiss tank. I know Mars Industries is Destro's company, but I only really know that from the live action movies. I don't think I ever picked up on that in comics or in the cartoon, or maybe it was just something that I forgot. Yeah. I mean, I liked the live action movies. A lot of people didn't, whether they were G.I. Joe fans or not G.I. Joe fans. But I find that a lot of people's criticisms of it are criticisms of people who either never watched or completely forgot the original cartoon. Like, they talked about the wacky plot and the crazy pseudoscience device. I'm like, I don't know, you should go back and watch Pyramid of Darkness, or pretty much, Rise Serpentor Rise. Pretty much any episode will tell you all you need to know about G.I. Joe. In fact, the one that I completely forgot about until recently is pretty endemic of G.I. Joe cartoons is the one where Shipwreck's telling a story, and it's kind of more cartoony, like more slapstick, Bugs Bunny cartoony. But the point of the episode is that Cobra is trying to get the MacGuffin device. Now, I didn't remember it because it wasn't a significant episode, and at the time, just like I'm pretty much sure all of you would, at the time, at the age that you were at, wouldn't have known what a MacGuffin was. But that completely justifies any, what you consider, poorly thought out plot or wacky science that doesn't make sense. There's a MacGuffin device in G.I. Joe. So there's a lot of box in this box. Oh, there's some parts on the side there. Oh, is there two different hatches? I guess we'll find out. And then this vacuum formed cardboard stuff, which is good. I mean, it really protects your stuff. And I guess I shouldn't be just tossing it around, but I'm not that precious about things, so. Ooh. You aren't really prepared for how large this is. I've seen some box openings already, and it looks large, but in person, even more so. All right, so that's it for that. Well, let's make sure. Yes, that's it for that box. You never know, they always pack some little thing in there. Can't remember whether this starts. I mean, it probably is a batteries not included situation because, there's a thing where they don't want something to sit somewhere for a long period of time, and then those batteries will fail, and then battery acid gets all over the thing you're trying to collect and preserve. So it's a good idea not to have batteries in it. I'm pretty sure that's the case with this. There's a lot of bagging on this too. And it's weird sticky bagging. Someone tell me the point of that. I mean, it could just be tightly packed bagging. I mean, I guess they don't have to tape it, but man, it doesn't seem to leave a residue, so, But, I don't know, it seems a little extra, like this would cost about double what just normal plastic would cost. So it's pretty awesome that the tire tread moves. And then you've got, I love it's got the little seatbelt in there, Cobra symbols, a lot of little details. Let's bring it over to this camera. So I can display it, you can take a look in the hatch and stuff while I open up these other little parts. So it's got little extra good bits and bytes to throw on here. The rocket launchers. I'm not surprised that the rockets are individually, removable and stuff like that. That's, classic G.I. Joe. It would be odd if Hasbro suddenly started making like these just, they're not removable, they're just affectations. I mean, they're still just affectations because it's not like you're just going to be throwing them at another vehicle, and they're certainly not going to explode. I mean, back in the 80s and 90s, we would have rigged them to have some sort of like firecracker on them or something, so that they would, or like a little bit of gunpowder residue or something to make them crackle when they hit something. But I don't think kids these days do that because I don't think their parents let them. I mean, not that our parents necessarily would have let us, but it's just that they weren't paying attention. But they had better things to do. Yeah, so I do like the rocket launchers. I like the Cobra logo, and they're a little detailed. But they're G.I. Joe detailed too, so they're not overly detailed. And this little gun, a little I like that. I like that very much. And are these side panels for the the treads, maybe? I can't remember. And are they... I guess you can choose different side panels? Oh, there's an even bigger gun? I did not know that. So you can have the weenie gun or the big gun. Or do both of them go on? Let's see. They look like they clip in different places. Like that has... Where does this go? Huh. I guess I'll figure it out later, rather than trying to, you know, muddle my way through, trying to figure out what types of things fit in where. Yeah, there's a lot of little extras on here, and what the hell are these things? That one was flying. It's a canister of some kind. I don't know. Are they fuel canisters? I don't know. Let me move this around so I can grab the thing that flew up. I don't know. Have you guys backed any Haslabs? One I wish I had known about, because I didn't know about Haslab, or even basically I had never gone to the Hasbro website until about I don't know, Snake Eyes coming out for Classified, and then by that point I think I'd missed out on that. What was it? Not Galvatron. The big planet transformer. Had I known about that, I mean, it would have been really expensive. And this is really neat, actually. The hatches. I don't know how else to explain that, but the side windows also open up, so it goes up like that, but then also like that. That is more than I was expecting from the hatch on his tank. And I think this one is just a solid piece, this clear one. So, I mean, maybe there's someone who would prefer this because it's more classic, I guess. I can't remember exactly. But, I don't know. I don't think I would prefer it. It's just a little too bland. And especially, yeah, now looking at all these other details, it's way too bland. You basically got to go with that one. That's my opinion, anyway. I don't know. So, has anyone else backed stuff on Haslab? Was there anything, you know, you really, really wanted more than this? Or is this like the ultimate Haslab? Because I kind of think there's not much else competing with it besides Unicron. There we go. The transforming planet voiced by Orson Welles. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of that beats this His tank is the Unicron Haslab, but it's way, way, way more expensive. So here's some machine guns. They side mount, I guess? Probably. Alright, so I'm going to move the tank out of the way and give you a view of... So I think these are the side panels, and you get two choices, unless... I don't know. They seem to fit. I don't know where they fit. No? I don't know. I don't actually know what they are. But they look like side panels, and they look like you choose one or the other. Although, no, maybe not. Maybe not. These are... Sorry, those go on the treads. I see. Okay, so these ones go on the treads. I don't think these ones do, because they're... Yeah, these are smaller. So then, where does that go? No. Don't know. I'll figure it out eventually. So those are the side panels. This is the big gun. That's the little gun. Pretty cool. These are the side mounting guns. These are the little canisters. I don't know what they are exactly. Fuel canisters or grenade canisters or some kind of munitions. This is a little canopy that goes somewhere. I don't know. This is the rockets. And then I already showed you the hatches. All right, so let's move those off to the side so we put the tank back in the picture. Because I think that's what most people want to look at. Meanwhile, I'll open up the figures that come with it. So originally, obviously, it was just going to come with, you know, the driver, and then there was the stretch goal for a gunner, and the backers got to vote on the colors. I couldn't really decide. I mean, I think I voted on a couple, but I didn't particularly care. By the way, it comes with decals. And then, as a surprise, there's a Cobra commander. Oh, okay. So there's a driver. So tactician, driver, gunner. So the tactician is, I guess he sits inside the back hatch, which I'll open at some point in time. And this Cobra commander doesn't have his own box. Interesting. Oh, he's a carded figure. I see. That's cool. I forgot about that. All right, so I'll take these out. Set them off to the side. And there are other things in these little... No, the cardboard was just to keep everything from being jostled. Throw more boxes in there. Alright. So let's move this tank out of the way. I'll start with... So we'll go in numerical order. It starts with 99. Interesting that it got up to that high by the time this finally was released. So this is the Cobra driver. It's got his schematics on the back, which is kind of what I think they have on the Haslab to show us, you know, the configuration, because they just had art. They didn't have an actual designed figure, from what I remember. And so then I think it was maybe the gunner was already included. I can't remember. And then maybe the tactician, we chose the different colors because the gunner and the driver seem to have the same colors, and then the tactician seems to be the colors that I remember winning out, which are there were wilder colors, or as in, I guess, more out there colors, and you know, maybe there's people like, oh, I would have preferred purple and whatever. It's like, yeah, but it doesn't really fit the theme, and you know, of G.I. Joe in general. I mean, maybe later, like the Sunbows, but I mean I don't think it was Sunbow, it was the Deke stuff. The later G.I. Joe stuff got wilder and wilder, but I mean, I prefer the original stuff being more downplayed in its color schemes. Yeah, this Haste Tactician is cool. It's got a signature by Ron Rudolph. I'm guessing that's who designed this, or who designed the His Tank, or who designed all these figures. But here's the Cobra Commander. So he's got the classic card on the back that gives you his details, and then a big Cobra symbol, because on the back of these G.I. Joe the original G.I. Joes, they had another piece of art depicting the character, and then this as the little dossier on the character. Yep, they're still using the same basic layout, and then you have the blister pack. Now, back then, obviously they were 3 3/4, so this is about twice the size, and didn't have removable hands or extra. I mean, there were lots of little extra doodads that characters had, but it was mostly extra guns, sometimes swords, maybe once in a while a knife, and bazookas, any kind of military ordinances, but not something like a little, as you can see, like a Cobra wrapping around a little globe. That's neat. Didn't know that was coming. So he's got a pair of hands on him, and then 2 extra pairs of hands. And I like the pointy finger. I did know about that. He's got a sidearm, a knife, and I don't know, a little data pad computer type thing. I like it. I like it a lot. So I have a bunch of G.I. Joes over there. I'm trying to figure out what else will fit in the diorama. Although I mean, it's going to be limited because like this thing over there is about 4 feet. This thing is about a foot and a bit. So you're not talking about a lot of distance between things, and then you throw in the helicopter, and it maybe becomes too clustered. And then obviously the 2 motorcycles, and I mean, I really want to use the Baroness motorcycle in it, but then throwing the Duke motorcycle in, the Tiger Force one, might be a bit too much too. But definitely, obviously, Snake Eyes fighting some people, and you know, Spirit with his hawk, and a bunch of other cool figures doing something. But yeah, that's the Cobra Hiss tank, and I'm not gonna get some batteries and light it up because I don't really have the setup for that. But let me know what you think of the Hiss tank, and whether you backed it yourself, whether now you kind of regret that you didn't, and whether there's anything else on Haslab that you backed and that you're looking forward to. And if you're looking forward to eventually a goddamn hooded Cobra Commander, I wonder why they haven't done that yet. I mean, they've got Zartan, who's got like a half hood, I think, so they should. But thanks for watching this. Let me know what you think. Have a good night.